Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series, Season 19. Today, we will be casting Division D Semifinals, Protectors of Shakuras versus ReGen DeGens. This is Seed 2 and 3. Protectors are technically also tied for Seed 1, but the first place team actually has a better KDA throughout this season, which is insane. We just got through the map picks and bans, and we are going to Infernal Shrines picked by Protectors. We will not be seeing Volskaya Foundry, Alterac Pass, Dragonshire, or Battlefield of Eternity. Just waiting for a lobby. This is a best of 5. Oh, always a good reminder for me. Best of 5, not best of 3. So we could see a minimum of 3 games and a maximum of 5. Looks like we've got a lobby up. I heard there are some non-MOBA audience viewers, so I will try my best to explain as much as I can. Even though there's a lot to know about the game, but we definitely welcome anybody new to HOTS. The community loves newcomers and is super welcoming, at least in NGS. Let's see. I guess I could start super basic about the game. MOBA, kind of like League of Legends. This one is a 5v5. Each team has a side of the map that they have structures on to defend. The cool thing about HOTS is that there are different types of maps, so different win conditions. So not every map's gonna have a base that you can destroy, like, you know, by hitting it. Sometimes you'll have to destroy it by, like, obtaining an item. But this map, there will be a base you can destroy. There are a few objectives in the middle that spawn every couple minutes. I don't actually know when the timers are, but the objective that spawns in the middle is like you kill a bunch of little minions and then you get this like super big guy to fight for you. He's got powers. We like to call him John Cena because he's punching everything. And it's super strong. It helps you push down the structures and get a lot of pressure on the map and in the lane. Hi, Hoku. And Taco. This stream has a delay, by the way, 30 seconds, so if I'm responding to chat, it may sound like it's a little late or early. Forget which direction that goes in. Just waiting on a couple more people in the lobby. A couple of notes about this division is that this division is quite small. There were only 7 teams, but the top 4 teams were super competitive, all within just a few points of each other. These 2 teams in particular were 39 points to 33. That is over 12 matches. And there's a point system. You can read all about it on the nexusgamingseries.org website. There's also like a bunch of rules. It's great. It's like the biggest amateur HOTS esports group in North America. But I will paste in chat if you want to take a look. You can see like the match history and whatnot. Close enough. Lala, Kala. I'm super excited. I haven't cast these teams before, I don't think. I tried to do a little bit of scouting as to what heroes they like to run, at least during this season, because I know team players, team rosters kind of change between seasons, so I only took a look at this season. And I'll give a little bit more info on that during the draft. there was some friendly banter in the map picks and bans, and so it seems like these teams get along really well, which to me, I kind of intuitively feel like these games are going to be super close then, or they're going to at least have a bunch of fun. Lots of claims about spraying was made, so we'll see if they follow through. Hello, hidden monkey. Yes, let's go hot. Hopium. We got big patches recently. Grubby came back and has been streaming. What are everybody's thoughts on the return of BlizzCon announcement? I know there was so much Heroes Hopium. Hi, Raka. Is it my chat or is it your chat, Raka? Oh, I would love to see a Valera game. We just got our 10th person here in the lobby. Should be starting soon. You hope to have lines at BlizzCon? Me too. But I'm kind of more hoping they have anything Heroes related at BlizzCon. Because I'm kind of close to actually where they hold it, so I'd love to go. So we are in the draft. Oh no, my game, it's not showing. Oh, there it is. Just took a second. Hoku not asking for our attention. Yeah, go make some soup for Hoku. I think it's wrong. Okay, so in analyzing these teams a little bit, I see a lot of Blaze. Both of these teams pick Blaze on the regular and have a super high win rate with Blaze. So I expect to see that banned or contested. Blaze, oh, let me explain a little bit more about traditional team compositions. Since there's 5 players on a team, I would say 70% of the time you see a traditional structure of having 1 healer per team, 1 tank, 2 damage players or assassins, and an offlaner, which is generally a bruiser. Blaze is technically defined as a tank, but everybody plays him as a bruiser in this game almost all the time. So they've banned Stukov, which is a healer. He's super abusive. He's got this big nasty pool that silences, so you can't use any abilities while you're sitting in it. And they've banned the Tassadar against ReGen, which they have played. That's their highest win rate hero and highest pick rate hero. So they know it. They know everything about that. Banning it right away. And the white main ban. So that's 2 healers banned against Protectors of Shakuras. Their white main win rate is 100% right now in the season. And that is a 3rd healer ban. I believe there are only 14 healers in this game, so they're choking out the healers. Anduin is the most played healer for ReGen DeGens. When the Oriole pick, okay, so that's 4 healers off the board. You know, it kind of feels like Protectors just gets whatever they get. I mean, if they don't pick a healer now, they might have to suffer a ban phase with more healers. So Protectors picking up their tank, which is Johanna, and Blaze, who's presumably their offlaner. Oriole just got a buff recently. Her healing numbers are insane right now, so she has a pretty high pick rate. Oh, you're planning to go to BlizzCon, Raka. Cool. ReGen gonna pick up Dahaka and Vala. Dahaka being their offlaner, he has a cool ability that lets him burrow or dig into any like bush on the map. So we call that global, a global ability where you can use it anywhere. It's really important for rotations, and when you're soaking a lane for experience, to be able to come to your team right away, especially when the other offlaner can't do that. And Vala's just a generally good damage dealer. You have to be able to punish her because she can kind of kite you. 14 Uther is a tank. I mean, are we even counting Lily as a healer now? Or she might as well just be a support instead of a healer. Okay. So Protector's going to spend their last ban on a tank. ReGen hasn't picked a tank yet. They've banned May. And ReGen DeGen's gonna ban a Thrall. Thrall is a bruiser. He is often played as an assassin because his wave clear is not a great match for other bruisers. When you're an offlane / bruiser in this game, you want to be able to clear the lanes quickly to get the experience and then return to your team as soon as possible.
Here we go again.
Protector's picking up the Chromie for some really long range spell power. It's really great on this map because there are a lot of walls. There are walls over the objective, and so she can play pretty safely. And Rhaegar. Rhaegar is a healer. He is kind of melee, but he also has some pretty high healing numbers. He's got a cleanse. Attack speed's low. It's good into Vala with the totem. Also generally good hero. And then ReGen gonna pick up their tank, which is Diablo and Junkrat. Diablo is a super fierce tank. I would say he is an S tier tank in this game with his ability to survive, engage, all of his CC, and he has this unique trait where if he has collected enough souls when he dies, he can respawn fast. I don't exactly get the Thrall ban either, but normally I feel like it's because people are doing their homework in scouting. Or maybe they ban the Thrall for the Diablo. Thrall has 3 choices for % damage, and they could really blow up the Diablo if they'd seen... Because they had last pick. Protectors had last pick. However, Hanzo is also extremely good into Diablo. He's got Giant Slayer at level 16, and with a Scatter Arrow, that can absolutely destroy Diablo. I'm excited to see how this goes. And we get to see their portrait synergy. This is like Probius and a Pylon, right? And this is like, whatever Zeratul is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Protectors of Shakuras. We have Aurum on that Blaze, Cliff, Sandwich on Hanzo, Chopper on the Chromie, the Boomer 444 on the Rhaegar, and Dagny on that Johanna. For ReGen DeGens, we've got Random Engineer on the Dahaka, Taco on the Diablo, Prosman Pat on the Junkrat, Velaravia on the Oriole, and Meow Meow Cats on that Vala.
3, 2, 1. To arms.
You like both team comps, very poke heavy, could go either way. I definitely agree with that statement. These are all like commonly picked meta heroes, so depending on the execution of, you know, both teamwork and technical skill, it can really go either way. But then there's also some really important macro decisions to make on this map. You cannot ignore macro on this map. So we see this is auto attack Vala. Her level 1 is a Gambit, so every time she dies, she loses some benefit here. So there's a big stun, a jet prop onto the Junkrat, and that Hanzo and Chromie are going to deal so much damage as great follow-up. They have super long range damage. That's going to be first blood going to Protectors of Shakuras. Oriole is a really cool healer. Basically, she bestows hope on somebody, which is this little halo. And every time they deal damage, she fills her energy bar, and she's able to heal that with that energy bar. Oh, really great flip combo onto the Rhaegar. They're not able to secure that kill, though. though he's very low. Junkrat just placed a boot there. Not gonna get any heroes. And Protectors of Shakuras doing a really good job of clearing that lane quicker than ReGen DeGens. However, when they go to mid, ReGen's just gonna take this for free. Completely uncontested. You can Gamba now! There's a prediction. Thanks, Raka. So up here, they're doing a little skirmish. They're both kind of low. Oh, really nice read by the Dahaka on the jet prop. So this bottom camp is getting some value here. It's actually hitting Johanna and the minion wave. Sorry, there's a little bit of lag. Bet your points. So this camp is getting cleared out pretty much for free. Johanna getting flipped. There's a boop here, actually. Does she get hit by the boop? Oh my gosh, just narrowly dodges it. Very good sidesteps. And these camps are crashing in the middle. Looks like red team's camp kind of favors out here. But blue team gonna support the middle. Dahaka actually still quite low. There's a flip onto the Rhaegar. Vala trying to follow up. But Vala needs to collect some stacks to increase her damage. A little bit of brawling up here again with the offlaners. Dahaka gonna pop that essence. I'm not gonna have very much though, so... So there are certain levels that each team obtains, and when they reach that level, they get a new talent, which is basically a buff to their abilities, or their general hero. And those levels are level 1, you pick a talent, level 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 20. Each one. Very important, but they're important for different heroes at different levels. So something cool about Chromie is she's just kind of like a master of time. She gets hers earlier. She gets hers 2 levels earlier. So she has her level 8 talent at level 6. This is Q-build Hanzo, by the way, and lots of Hope Johanna into that auto-attack Vala, but there's a massive jet propulsion onto 3 members within the oil. They're getting so incredibly chunked. Oriole is gonna fall, and I believe that Diablo is gonna fall too. Junkrat not quite dead, but check out this Hanzo back here. He's also getting chunked. It's 31 to 31 on the objective, but red team's out of juice. They're out of health, they're out of mana. Unfortunately, they're just gonna narrowly miss this objective, but Protectors of Shakuras getting that level 7 from those kills is gonna put them ahead. So this is a Mortar Punisher. It throws all these little fireballs to do some more siege damage. Also hits heroes, jumps on people, stuns them. I like the Haka pulling the minions here. That's actually really helpful for the defense here. And that is going to help them net that kill onto the Rhaegar. So nice defense. Overall, good teamwork. It's a triple stun by John Cena. Let's go. Ball is almost dead. And that's going to get about half the fort in mid lane there. That's kind of a lot. There's always hope, but sometimes less. Always than other times. I mean, that was a really big Blaze stun. Blaze is, I would say, the most contested offlaner. I mean, it is between both of these teams, but he's just got so much utility. There is a time trap in this bush, which Chromie can use to put somebody in stasis. Even her own team. So there is Chromie's ult, the temporal loop. It returns Diablo, the person loop, back to the position they were in a few seconds ago. Red team is super chunked, but they still want to keep fighting. They're doing a lot of damage. Chromie trying to hit that Vala, but Vala's seeing it right away and sidestepping it. Vala's getting a ton of auto attack stacks here. However, Dahaka, their offlaner, joined this fight, and so that means that they kind of missed out a little bit. Top here, they weren't able to defend, so Blaze was able to get some structure damage there. So there's an invade on this side of the map here. Oh my gosh, that Dragon's Arrow and the Blessed were huge. That ended up being a trade in an outnumbered fight, 4v3. Diablo did have souls, however, so Diablo just respawned with a little bit less health. He does get it back when he gets his souls again. So the siege camp got taken by Protectors of Shakuras. ReGen, DeGens gonna get their ults just now. Let's see, Protectors got there first, so I'll call those. That's Ancestral, Dragon's Arrow, Bunker, Blessed Shield, and Temporal Loop. Oh, the tanks are meeting in the bush. There's a combo onto the Hanzo by the Diablo, but the team wasn't quite ready for the follow-up. He's getting looped. He pops the Apocalypse for the defense, which actually saves his life. Ancestral getting pressed onto the Rhaegar to save their life from Dehaka. I know Blaze is in the mix. That was a 4v5, and it was a little bit of Diablo trying to engage, but due to the lack of follow-up, stepping out a bit too far, taking so much of his health bar. There's a wallbang onto the Chromie. Seems like Diablo knows their limits, though, for the most part. And those ults that we did see quite a few of for red team. Oh my gosh, huge time on the Johanna. There's a purge to cleanse her, but she actually still dies just based off the burst damage. Oriel gonna snag that kill. So this bruiser camp is getting taken by ReGen, DeGens. It's important to take camps before objectives because that means there are multiple things on the map that you're gonna have to deal with. So Blaze is going to do that now because they understand the importance of taking it before the objective. Oh, sorry. That was Apocalypse, Crystal Aegis, Isolation, Rain of Vengeance, and Riptire. Those are those 10s for ReGen, DeGens, who are going to get a head start on this objective here. Blaze and Johanna and Hanzo taking that camp. Blue team a little late, but they might get level 13 talent tier first. Blaze is getting super chunked by the camp. Oh my gosh, the ice up for the last hit, but the bunker is really, really good. Yes, Random Engineer is really good with those times. He's a massive Riptire after the combo onto the Rhaegar. Rhaegar just got Ancestral up. It's going to pop it on themselves. Blessed too to mitigate the damage from the Johanna. ReGen DeGens has all of the minions though. They're for sure going to get this objective. It's a Frozen Punisher, which we kind of consider to be the strongest one because it has the ability to turn structure damage off. So the jump of the Johanna, she's got Iron Skin, so it's not going to stun her. Chromie dishing out a ton of damage for the defense. And the Punisher's almost dead. That's insane. Johanna going into the enemy team to try and peel them off from pushing, but she's actually going to die. She got chain stunned by the Diablo and the Oriel. Very nice. Yeah, that was a sick bunker earlier. As their prize for killing the tank, ReGen DeGen's gonna take this neutral camp down here and bot. Self-ancestral, best ancestral. Sometimes I like freak out and then I forget self-casting is a thing. Like, I spent so long realizing that self-casting existed and then practicing it on myself. And then sometimes I just also forget that it exists. And then I'm like, I don't want to click myself over somebody else. So ReGen DeGens is going to pick up this siege camp as well. I really like that both of these teams are on top of getting camps when they are available. Camps are a super strong way to help destroy structures, whittle them down, so that when you do get the objective, it's less of an obstacle for you to push in. Okay, Diablo watching this rotation here, gets spotted by the Hanzo. There's a time trap onto him. He's pretty healthy. There are minions down here hitting the structures. Need more Laws of Hope stacks. 27 is pretty good for 10 minutes. Huge combo onto the Johanna. I believe she already used Iron Skin, the Dragon's Arrow, to kind of try and help her out. Time trap onto the Vala. And that's going to be another death for the Johanna. Oh, and they're just pushing. Pushing with no minions. The Haka is tanking it all. There's a Temporal Loop onto the Junkrat, but a full APOC combo onto the Chromie. She absolutely dies to the Junkrat damage. 4-person jet propulsion stun, and he's gonna take one Gambit from Bala. That's insane. The value. Blaze is a tank. Another double stun. Huge. Buying time. Oh my gosh, that scatter was nuts. Buying time for his team to do damage. Very nice hold by that Blaze. stopping their push here and getting a counter kill. Angel of Hope's dope rope of nope is really good. Is that the trait though? Or no, it's the whip. Yep, it's the whip. I get it now.
Gathers power. Claim it in my name.
POS is a pretty funny ticker. Protectors of Shakuras. Point of sale? Okay, so there's a totem to slow the Diablo. He gets the wall bang onto the Blaze. The Blaze was going to jet propulsion. Oh my gosh, Oriole disappeared. She's gone, she's dead. Ball is gone, she's dead. The Hawk is gone. The Dino is dead. They're all falling under their tower. Blue team is tanking tower shots and still getting kills. And they get this whole fort. These Blaze stuns have been absolutely massive this game. There's a big combo onto the Johanna. She's tanking tower shots still. They want one more kill. Oh my gosh. The W healing. W healing saves Diablo. She wanted that globe. Had to get more law stacks. Wow, Protectors of Shakuras really just commanding their presence with the big stunts and the big burst follow-up. They're gonna get the head start on this objective here. Both teams are at even talent tiers, so red team has the option to contest, but they are saying it would be a little too late by the time we get there. We're just gonna go and try and get definitive structure damage. This fort is about halfway gone. They're gonna go for it. And they're gonna get it. So that objective is going down slowly. It looks like they want to get this fort out of the way first. They're prepping the lane for the objective, and they're actually holding it just a little. They're tagging this camp first. They want really, really massive pressure in this lane. This could potentially be game ending if ReGen DeGens loses any members. They're pulling the Diablo out. They stun him. The Punisher is on its way. The Crystal Aegis. Is it going to save Diablo? It's not. Diablo has souls, however. That was a lot of tools used. That was Temporal Loop, Blessed Shield, Dragon's Arrow, Apocalypse, Crystal Aegis. There's a triple stun from the Punisher. This is under the fort though, so when you start attacking somebody, the fort will start defending by targeting you. So there's an instructional on the Johanna. Oh my gosh, the bunker for the Blaze. Is he gonna survive? He leaves with 500 health and they get a counter kill on this Junkrat because of John Cena and Chromie. That's actually insane that none of blue team died there. None of Protectors died there. They had the massive push. The camp was actually an extremely good call. It net them the whole keep. Red team did get this camp earlier, and it's been doing some work down here. It got one tower, got nearly half the gate. But you don't want to be ReGen DeGens here having no keep. That means more catapults will spawn in this lane and eventually pressure your core. Thankfully, they have a global hero, which is Dahaka, so he can just keep clearing lanes, and whenever he needs to join the fight, if they have that global ability on cooldown, they can just come in whenever. That's why you picked Dahaka. Just more camps getting picked up while it's safe. Protectors of Shakuras is going to get their level 20 talent tier. That's the last talent tier you can get. It's at level 20. You don't get any more at 24 or 28. And they're usually really powerful. These in particular are Farseer's Blessing does massive healing. So you see that giant burst heal that Rhaegar uses. Now it's AoE. And it happens twice. So there was an attempted boop on the Johanna and she uses Iron Skin. And so now there's a jet propulsion stun onto the Blaze with a totem slow. Really holding them in place. Not a ton of damage follow up there. The Hawka still is not here. They're trying to get their team that level 20. Another massive stun on the Blaze. Blessed Shield, Dragon's Arrow. It's a massive CC, but there's a Rift Tire and a Temporal Loop, and Diablo's just stuck, man. Diablo can't move. Oriole doesn't have any sort of true cleanse, so the crystal is the best best saving tool she has. There's a huge boop onto the Hanzo. He has to flip away, but the jet propulsion hits two members, including the healer and Junkrat, and Chromie's gonna snipe that Vala. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Protectors of Shakuras is tied for first place here, technically second now, and we can kind of see why. They're just killing it. They're so coordinated about their engages and follow-up. The Hawk is here to defend with Junkrat. He kind of baits out the stun. There's an isolation. He gets cleansed, but he actually can't see. You can see that with his little Dahaka mask. And Protectors of Shakur is going to take game one. Very decisively, actually. They only lost one structure, and then they took 5 away from ReGen DeGens. Yeah, super decisive game. It all kind of spiraled really quickly from like the mid to the end game. There were so many picks that Protectors got, even outnumbered. They were making really, really good trades. If we want to see the numbers here, we've got Rhaegar doing all that healing with that super AoE, area of effect ancestral. And Oriole, she just does a lot of healing in general. Our top damage numbers are going to Junkrat and Hanzo. Chromie not far behind, and then it's Blaze, and then it's Vala. So yes, Protectors of Shakuras won that first game. This is the best of 5. So, minimum 2 games we'll see more, but maximum of 4 more. You wish you had voted? Don't worry. Surely there will be more predictions in the next 2 or 4 games. 2, 3, or 4 games. It was a 17-minute game, which is a little fast for Infernal Shrines. On Rhaegar. Yeah. Take a look at these talents. This Hanzo actually did not go for that percent damage talent that I said would absolutely shred the Diablo, and they didn't need it. They held that Diablo down for a million years and did enough damage that they didn't need percent damage. I loved the Blessed and then Arrow chain CC. So the Blessed Shield, it bounces around and stuns everybody for 0.75 seconds. And then while they're stunned, Hanzo throws their arrow out, and the stun stuns for anywhere between 0.5 and 2 seconds based on the distance that it traveled. So it's a very long stun when chained together, plus the Blaze stun. It sets Chromie up. I mean, the game becomes so free for Chromie if you chain all of that. I mean, Joe didn't need these double blinds either at level 1. Excellent play. See what this next map is. From the list of choices, I'll update that score. Apologies. Protectors of Shakuras did pick that map. Now, I don't know if this has any bearing, but in the last several games I've cast, everybody that picked the map won the map. It was a very high percentage. I'm just here to confuse your gambas. Okay, looks like the next lobby's up, and we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is one of my favorite maps, honestly. HOTS has a lot of good maps. I believe Protectors picked this map as well because it says that... Okay, yeah, great. They just said it. They just confirmed it for me. Because here in the lobby screen, I can see who gets first pick. And ReGen is getting first hero pick in the draft. So, to me, that means that Protectors pick the map. Usually get one or the other here in NGS. It's not like, oh, you win, so, you know, you get everything. It's kind of, you trade back and forth. Helps the games become more competitive, I would say. So on this map, it's also got 3 lanes. Not every Heroes of the Storm map has 3 lanes. This one does, but the lanes are a little squished together. They're like not as tall as the other maps, so the time it takes to travel in between each lane, if you're going vertically, it's very short. In the lanes, there's gonna be minions like most of the other maps, and the back 3 spider minions will drop some gems. You're gonna need to collect a certain amount of those as each team, and then turn them in to the Spider Queen, and then she'll like summon a bunch of stuff for you in every lane. Hi, Blue. I know you're casting later. Everybody go check out Blue out later. I said that right. I totally said that right. Words. They will be casting also Div D. We're both casting Div D tonight. Cosmos versus Phoenix Rising Amethyst. There's only 4 teams here in the playoffs. So it's these 2 teams and those 2 teams. So if you want to know everything that's happening in Div B, watch both of these streams. That one's going on in about half an hour. Maybe you have both up. Let me go check out these hero picks. I wonder if there's any heroes these teams like to play that are kind of good on this map. Johanna being one that was played last map, she's super good on this map. Because she can pull all the minions together, it makes it easier for them to die sooner. Tassadar, which got banned last game, he's pretty good here. Looks like both teams play Johanna. Ooh, and ReGen DeGens having a pretty high win rate on Garrosh, who's good on this map. Let's see. Now I have to call out one for the other team. Wow, they have a lot of heroes they play that are 100%. Whitemane was played 4 times at 100%. We're calling readies in the lobby, so the game should be starting soon. Okay, looks like we're getting into it. They're counting down.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Dude, you gotta love the voice acting in this game. And all the art and the emotes, the animations. It may be a dead game, but we still love it. The draft usually takes about 5 minutes. I wonder if we're going to see the same bans that they banned last round, or are they going to ban heroes that they won with? I always feel like the timer is so short when I'm like on the team that's doing the banning. When I'm watching, I'm like, oh, they're taking their sweet time. They're gonna take that same first ban, which is Stukov. Protectors of Shakuras is gonna do the same. That's Tassadar. Let me check out that win rate for Stukov for protectors. Oh, 100%. Only one game played though. Honestly, sometimes I just ban Stukov because I don't want to play against him. He's kind of disgusting. Disgusting in a good way. Well, they're gonna ban the white man again. So double healer ban for ReGen DeGens. And that's that triple healer ban. So the bans are about the same here. However, ReGen DeGen's gonna snap up that Blaze. Factors of Shakuras played it last game. They got a lot of value out of it. It's also really good here. We need to nerf Blaze, right guys? Blizzard, Microsoft, are you out there? Bunker's a little too strong. You can cast it even when you're silenced. Ooh, and Protector's gonna snap off that Oriole. But they're gonna take Hogger as their offlaner since they don't get Blaze. So there's kind of not a huge reason for ReGen DeGens to ban a healer. They do like to play Mei, and Mei was banned against them last game. So Taco gets their Mei. And then they're actually gonna take the Chromie too away from protectors. We want a 3-hour cast. Okay, ReGen. Every time I do a best of 5, I'm prepared for it to go 3 hours now. I just like to set average expectations. And so it is another healer ban. 4 healers banned at 14. We're gonna ban the Vala. Just remove Blaze, get Brightwing out of the game too while they're at it. I mean, if they're not gonna give Lily any love, they can remove her also. Blaze is bae. Blay. Alright, I love it. Ooh, the variant and the Falstad. I kind of like the variant into the Mei, because the Mei has a trait where she can become unstoppable, gain a big shield. Variant has a talent, which I believe is at level 13, where he can do massive damage to shields. ReGen DeGen's gonna pick up Thrall, and... Rhaegar.
To my last breath.
Falstad is a super competitive pick because of his ult, actually, which is Gust. Basically, you just blow a bunch of wind and their whole team is gone. And at level 20, you can do it for 4 seconds and lock them into a wall. And the Junkrat. Both of these teams have a lot of similar picks. They're just sharing heroes at this point. Gamba never comes up until draft is done. Julie, do the thing! Oh my gosh, I just rewatched Korra recently. It was so good. I clearly do not live in Nevada. Wait, what did I say? Are you talking to me? Because I do not live in Nevada. Alright, I'll take turns introducing these teams. So for ReGen DeGens, we've got Random Engineer on the Blaze, Taco playing Mei, Prosman Pat playing Chromie, Velaravia on the Rhaegar, and Meow Meow Cats on that Thrall. For Protectors of Shakuras, we've got the Boomer 444 on Oriole, Chopper playing it Junkrat, Cliff Sandwich on that Falstad, Orem on the Hogger, and Dagny on the Variant. They've got some fun things going on in chat. See if they actually... There's the vision. Okay, he's dancing. He's dancing. Praying. Nice combo onto the Hogger. Follow up root by the Thrall. Hogger's super duper chunked here, but Blaze actually getting booped and pops a Pyromania for that 40 armor. Blue team super chunked, but they're doing a bit of chunking of their own, and a massive combo stun onto the Thrall. Joker had 20 health, was able to get... Oh, he actually died, sorry. May also dying here too. So that is a 2 for 1 in favor of Protectors of Shakuras. So they're going to be able to start clearing those lanes a little more quickly. Got mid, going top. This is hammering false start, by the way. Blaze getting stunned here. Oh my gosh, the jet propulsion was a little short. It looked like they actually ran into the wall instead of directly to the right, but the boop placement was perfect. Such a good boop. Wow. Talk about efficiency. Protectors of Shakura has already turned in 10 gems, and it's only been like a minute and a half. They don't want to lose any of them. They're turning them in right away. Yeah, I've never been a fan of, like, actual gambling. So Hogger gonna take up this Bruiser camp very, very quickly. He's really, truly a specialist at it. Some pretty good sidesteps from the very end, but he can't sidestep everything. Does he live? No, he does not live. His parry allows him to evade basic attacks, so this is when he's blinking. But not spell damage. So as the reward region, DeGens gonna take this siege camp, this neutral camp in the bot. However, that bruiser camp that Hogger got earlier is not getting defended on time. Blue team gonna take this whole wall. That's so much value here. Like, the kill that they just got on the very end, this was so worth actually. Really nice boop onto the Mei. Kind of looked like the Mei had a flank onto the Oriole, but who's flanking who? Hogger trying to clear out this siege camp that red team got, but having a little trouble into the Blaze. Blaze is super tanky and does some decent damage, getting a nice stun, and the siege camp's actually hitting the Hogger for he's helping him. Some gems turned in by the Rhaegar, and now this bruiser camp's getting picked up by Thrall and Chromie. They're not the best at camps. They're also not the worst. So blue team turning in a ton of gems here. They almost have enough for a full objective phase. This is shiny now, so that means they have enough if everybody turns in the gems they're currently holding. Rhaegar trying to get the stall, but a little bit alone. They're all gonna go down there. There's a boop onto the Blaze. They did want to stall that objective turn in, knowing that Protectors had enough to turn in for a full phase, but they're kind of, they weren't able to, and suffer the consequences. A really nice combo on Falstad. He gets the dash out, and blue team's gonna be able to turn 50 gems in. Time trapped onto the variant. Level 7s are online for Protectors and for ReGen DeGens now. So they're kind of looking mid lane here. Super nice stun onto the Rhaegar, who gets taunted after the whip. There's a Mei Blizzard, which is really nice defense. 30 health on that Rhaegar. Sorry, 31. Ah, the Rhaegar's gone. Did the Rhaegar just die to the Web Weaver? They said GG, I'm bad. There's a boop onto the Mei, but doesn't end up getting booped. Blue team's super trying to defend here. But this mid fort is taking a lot of damage. Thrall doesn't have the best wave clear here. They're gonna get taunted under the tower and die. And this Web Weaver is still alive. Hogger did a decent job of defending bot. However, top did not see much defense here. So now Krami's trying to defend top lane here. The first line doesn't look like... Oh, maybe they get this whole thing. So Mei icing in. This actually slowing Sans Krami this time. He's got about 590 health. Oriel's pretty chunked too. However, Hager is up here. And Blaze making it up here too. Protectors of Shakuras built a really nice experience lead here. They are almost level 10. Wow, really nice boot to interrupt the Blaze stun, but Varian going in to defend that turn-in also suffers the consequences here. Red team really wants this turn-in, and they were grouped as 5. Hager is taking this structure, though, during all that. Junkrat not able to stall those gems, and actually eating the stun with Oriel. These two were trying to defend the objective, but 2v5 and within range of a Blaze stun. You saw last game how deadly those Blaze stuns were. Okay, another Blaze stun onto the Hager. Nice safe spin. Only 6 more gems for Red team to get a full objective phase, and I believe Blaze is holding the majority of those. So they're gonna need at least Blaze to turn in, or Taka to get a couple more and turn it with Chromie. This Bridger camp got picked up by Protectors, and they're pushing with it a little. Massive stun onto the Mei. Oh, the Ancestral almost makes it, but that's crazy how coordinated Protectors is when it comes to killing the tank. We saw that last game too, and they're super solid, super in sync. Red team actually completes their turn in, and Mei's gonna be back in about 1 second, so they're respawning now. One thing that's interesting, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Oh wow, really nice oil and stun onto the Junkrat, but the gut is really powerful here. Does it save the Junkrat? No, there's a Sundering from the Thrall. And Junkrat is gonna go down. Mei's looking for more. Mei wants that Oriel. She uses her ult, and it catches the Varian too! Crystal Age is going to come out for the Oriel, but they're stuck in the Slowing Silence, and they're body blocked. So these Web Weavers are now kind of going undefended, but what I was saying earlier is that the Web Weaver's health bar is not really a health bar. I believe it's kind of based on time and distance traveled. So if it's all the way back here and it takes forever to walk up here, it's not going to be very healthy by the time it gets there and actually gets any value. Somebody called that combustion. Is this combustion? Oh, it is combustion. That's great. Okay, really nice objective phase for ReGen DeGens. Even though they don't have any of their forts, they were able to get one up here. Now, Protectors of Shakuras is kind of eyeing this boss area. They just got level 13, which means they have a teamfight advantage with that talent tier. Varian kind of going and hitting it, wanting to start it, but the team maybe another call was made of defending turn-in or turning in gems instead, or maybe they want to turn in gems for the most part, and then before they finish turning, tag that boss. A lot of times during the objective phase, the camps will go away, and you can't actually get them till it's over. So they're just going to opt to turn in full. Varian's got those last couple over there. Nice. Crap onto the Mei, getting taunted. The Ancestral does go off, but there's a Shockwave. She gets her trait off. There's a Riptire. So many stuns. You have the Mei Blizzard, the Sundering. Nobody actually dies there, but like 6 ults got used. Not a fan of combustion. I mean, it has its place. Generally, people go bunker though, just because of, you know, it's like a whole team cleanse basically, and you can use it even in like the weirdest CC, despite, you know. Okay, so Junkrat's the only one caught in that avalanche there. There's a boop that actually kind of traps this Mei here, but they miss the whip. She pops a trait so she doesn't get taunted. She's gonna live. Nice save. They probably didn't notice that boop there. Oriole is doing so much healing. This Web Weaver's got a quarter of its quote-unquote health left. Talk about engaging on this Oriole. Oriole has already used Whip, and that's kind of like her only saving tool. She's in the Slowing Sands. She's in the Blizzard. She will most likely die here. Oh my gosh. Okay, but I keep False here. False Ted and Hogger pushing mid, and Blaze the only one to defend both of them and the objective. Oriole saying, my life for Shakuras. Equest on Thrall. Into this comp, you think that's illegal? It's a little hard, yeah, into the Junkrat and Varian. Wow, red team super bold, gonna look at this boss. Hogger's all the way down here, so even if blue team decides to contest, it's a 4v5. The Riptire going straight out. Are they gonna gust this? Can they gust it? I don't think there's an angle here for the gust, and so that's Varian going down. That's Junkrat going down. Oh my gosh, Hogger almost knocked them into the Junkrat bombs. So now Oriole is looking a little under fire here. Oriole's gonna go down too. This is crazy. I mean, you almost have Winions on core here for blue team, and so you see them walking back here, but they could have gotten so much structure damage here had they pushed. They are concerned about their core. They don't want to be losing any core percentage. Interesting though, they opt to turn in despite their lanes looking the way that they are right now. They won't be able to pick Oriole when she has flight at 20. I love it. So these cores, by the way, they do have shields. I know I'm over-explaining, but you know, if you... I heard there were non-MOBA players here. I want to make sure you're kind of understanding what's going on. Yeah, it does have shields, so it doesn't start losing health right away. But the shields regenerate. The health does not. Oh, they almost have that combo onto the Junkrat. He actually gets the self-boop for the defense. And Oriole gets booped in, but she actually gets a 3-person avalanche. And everybody's pressing their ult right now, including Combustion. The Shockwave onto the Mei. Hogger's gonna take that Mei down. There's a taunt onto the Blaze. The Slowing Sands, though, I think is gonna save them from any more deaths. That was insane. We still don't know who's engaging on who. Just think of the macro, bait them to one turn in, fly to the other, turn in before they can rotate. True. I know somebody that likes to play offlane Oriole with that talent. Oh, that time trap. And the Slowing Sands, massive taunt onto the Rhaegar here. Ooh, I'm not sure the Rhaegar's gonna live. Gonna pop the Ancestral. They're gonna live there. The Root not quite landing onto the Varian. Okay, so this Bruiser Camp is getting stolen by Protectors of Shakuras. How much does Red Team want to play for it? There's a trap and a boot from Junkrat. Some pretty big minion waves down here. They are going to die pretty soon, but they are getting some structure damage. So Mei is going in, tries to combo this Oriole here, gets Shockwave by the Hogger. She's losing a lot of health very, very quickly. The Riptire up. Don't even need the Riptire. Falsehead's gonna seal that kill. Blue team looks like they're playing super aggressive here. They've got this camp going mid, but they're leaving now. Neither team has enough to turn in. Protectors being a little closer. They've got 36 right now. 40. They're getting there. Hogger's getting the siege camp. Mei will be back in about 10 seconds. Now this is a super big talent for Oriole, Reservoir of Hope. Basically her max energy that she can store increases every time she uses it when it's full. So her burst healing is just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, which is super important when you're playing against like a burst damage hero like Chromie. Chromie's gonna get her level 20 talent though, because she's Chromie. She's gonna take Piercing Sands. So now her Q doesn't only hit the first enemy. It goes through all of them and hits all of them. ReGen, DeGens playing on the back foot here. Protectors of Shakuras very, very close to level 20. Almost enough gems to turn in. We got a 2018 fight on our hands. Yes, exactly. And that is why ReGen, DeGens is standing in their base. They know they will not likely win a level 20 fight, and they see somebody who's out here on their own. Blaze is going to be able to jet propulsion out of there to safety. They're letting the waves come to them. They really should pick up this experience though if they want level 20. You see these little globes on the ground. Oh, those belong to protectors. My apologies. Flight for sure. It's Shield of Hope. I'm sorry, Shane. Shield of Hope is actually just too strong. A shield equal to 50% of the amount of health you're missing. So the lower you are, the bigger shield you get. There's no taunt onto the Blaze, but it looked like there might have been. So Mei went ahead and used Avalanche to peel for the Blaze. Protectors now have enough to turn in, but they still have that level 20 advantage, so they can actually just do whatever the heck they want. They're going for boss, and Chromie sees this with her level 1 Time Walker's Pursuit. She's got vision on them. And what are ReGen, DeGens going to do? They're going to try and turn in. They just got enough. So the turn in will hopefully help them with this boss defense. And are they going to get it before Varian does? Varian is going to finish it before Red Team. That is an extremely huge push for Protectors. The US needs to fight now? I mean, it's already 20s. I know I have a delay, so you probably said that earlier. But yes, it is looking very bad for ReGen, DeGens. There's no bunker on that Blaze, so he kind of went in. He's a little looking dead. The boss, it's losing its health. It's got a third of it left. Oh my gosh, there's a stun onto the Chromie and the Thrall. However, they're both alive. The slowing sands, the Ancestral is not quite gonna connect. There's a no control by the Hogger. The Ancestral went on a 10-second timer, so he still has it. And this core is gone. So that's game 2 going to Protectors of Shakuras. That's match point. Very nicely played. Let's take a look at these stats. It was 13 kills to 12. Much closer in terms of the team fights here. At least in the kills. And we have Junkrat taking that top down, but Chromie, again, not far behind. Same healers as last game, I think. Rhaegar and Oriole. Rhaegar healing a bit more. Bit of that Ancestral. Yeah, that was definitely a good game. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, this wind tunnel talent, it's disgusting. So is Shield of Hope. No control was pretty funny. Oh, those were rip tire resets. You still want a 3-hour cast. You just want to root for whichever team will make the game longer. Nicely played. Let's see. Varian did end up taking this shattering throw. I'm sorry I didn't pay attention to it earlier in the game. It says, activate the throw sword at a target hero that deals 50 damage. Just 50. However, if they have shields, it says up to 1400 bonus damage to a shield. let's see. Oh, looks like we've got a new lobby open, and that's going to be Braxis. We actually love Braxis here. Braxis is a 2-lane map. So the pacing of the game is a little quicker. And it looks like ReGen DeGens picked this map. You're rooting for good odds. Is anyone cheering for you? Yes, I do love this map. Reverse sweep, let's go! That would be spicy for sure. Yes, Braxis Pog. And Braxis kind of brings out some heroes I feel like some people don't normally play. Like, you'll see, like, a Phoenix here because he has Planet Cracker. And Planet Cracker, like, if you get it at a decent angle, you can just rip the objective. Like, all the Zerg that comes pushing down when the objective phase is up. You'll see people also like Genji, Falstad, Medivh with their ability to jump over walls and rotate really quickly to kind of outnumber the person that's in the off lane. So it becomes a 2v1 really fast without the other team noticing. Another thing about this map is that yes, Hoku. Another thing about this map is that it's an Artanis map. I was going to say that you'll see heroes that like to brawl get picked. So Artanis, yes, being one of them. You'll even see people like Kalthuzad, tanks like Garrosh and Stitches, where you're always looking for that engage. Today I learned that you could have a separate tab of just a specific Twitch chat. It's very useful. Normally I have it like in my OBS, but that's like when you connect your account. Since we're streaming on NGS here, I was like, how do I see chat while I'm in the game? Without having the stream up because my internet's not very good actually, so I try not to have like multiple streams pulling. Chen versus Artanis is infinite stacks. I've seen some crazy stuff here in the offlane. I've seen an Ana versus Artanis in the offlane. Ana's like a long range healer. And it works! Sometimes you'll see like Deathwing, or Rexar, Kira. It's such a fun map. It is a little fast though. Everything's kind of clumped up in the middle. And sometimes it feels like even when you get a kill advantage, the map is so small. And the timers aren't that long in the earlier parts of the game that it's like you can't ever get like a super big advantage. You used to have the most scuffed setup. You had one monitor to chat up on your phone while you casted. Okay. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe. I mean, like, I understand. Like, sometimes I have, like, if I'm having microphone issues, I'll just have, like, Discord on my phone. It is kind of scuffed. Hi, Spectrum. So ReGen DeGens picked this map. I'm curious to see if they'll win it, because that then will be 3 for 3 on map picks equals map win. And in my last cast, it was 5 for 5 map picks equals map win. When game 5 rolls around, I'm not going to tell you who picks the map if we're still at 100%. think they're just getting drinks. It might be a long one, so if you want a drink, might as well go grab one. You got 5 minutes for the draft when it starts. Looks like we're calling ready in the lobby. So for this objective, there's 2 points on the map that you have to step on, and then you get control of them. Once you have control of it, you don't have to step on it anymore, but the other team can retake control or neutralize the control if they step on it. And then you charge up a whole bar, and once either team gets the bar to 100%, it sends a Zerg wave down on both sides based on how much charge you have. You'll still see who is first picked, though, when you draft. Okay, but that requires more thinking. So I'll make it harder. I won't give it away. So these are the exact same bands. Anduin got banned first instead of Tassadar, but they're still the same bands that we saw in the first 2 games.
The crusade calls.
Johanna gets picked up here. Johanna's pretty good. One thing that enables teams on this map is to stay in the fight as long as possible. Stay on that point. She has Unstoppable and a big shield that makes her quite tanky. That's her draw here. Right Wing is a nice pickup here. She has the ability to, a global ability to phase shift onto any teammate and heal them for a large amount. They also pick up the Junkrat. And the Protector is going to pick up Dahaka, who also has a global ability, and Malfurion. We haven't seen Malfurion yet in this series, so I'm excited for that. So ReGen, DeGens going to pick their last ban here. Probably an Assassin. That's going to be the Lala. You're rooting for Protectors now because of Bright Wing. Not gonna lie, I get it. I like to play healers, and like, I used to play Brightwing a lot, but I just haven't enjoyed her as much lately. I don't know. Do they need to give her love, or is she in an okay spot? She in an okay spot. So Protector's gonna ban out that Garrosh. ReGen has a pretty good win rate on Garrosh, and I would say this is a map that is good for him. Because you're always kind of around the enemy team, which gives you the ability to throw them into your team. Garrosh can throw somebody into your team. Or to any spot they choose within a range. Taco gonna pick up that Mei once again. They were pretty good at landing combos. And Meow Meow Cats is gonna pick up the Thrall. Oh, sorry, not Thrall. Not the Thrall from last game, but the Orphea. I like the damage follow-up from the Orphea and Mei. They both have circles. Circles are busted in this game. And to round their draft out, Protectors are going to take Falstad and Li Ming. Falstad was played by Cliff Sandwich last game, but we haven't seen the Li Ming in this series yet. I like the Li Ming into the Mei. Mei has kind of a hard time gap closing onto the Li Ming, and Li Ming can just deal damage when Mei presses trait, because Mei can't move. Even though she's unstoppable and gains a shield, Li Ming can just pop it with all the damage that she does from a long range. And so ReGen DeGens picking up the Thrall again. However, it is played by their offlaner. Who wins in a best of 5? This Protectors of Shakuras team or the 2021 Protectors of Ire? I don't know what the A is. It's a Chen player, point click, no fun button tilts me. Oh, I see the poly. You guys have insider information. Okay, I will introduce Protectors of Shakuras first. We've got the Boomer 444 on that Malfurion, Aurum on the Dahaka, Chopper on that Li Ming, Dagny on the Johanna, and Clip Sandwich on the Falstad. For ReGen DeGens, we've got Frostman Pat on that Junkrat, Taco on the Mei, Random Engineer on the Thrall, Velaravia on the Brightwing, and Meow Meow Cats on that Orphea.
5, 4, 3.
It's going to be that percent damage talent at level 1 for the Thrall. And this is Hyper Shift, so every minion death that happens in Brightwing's vicinity will reduce the cooldown of her global, her phase shift, by 0.5 seconds. So she's going to be able to jump from lane to lane or do a big burst heal more often. This is generally the meta talent that everybody takes because it's such a strong ability. Both tanks kind of engaging on the wave here. Orphea doing a ton of damage. She's opted to go this E-build level 1, where if you hit 3 people with it, you complete this quest, and it does 50% more damage. Taking the quest as it is does 50%, but then you get another 50% by hitting 3 people with it. Oh, there it is! Oh, it was beautiful. We watched it happen in slow-mo. Oh my gosh, getting that E-quest is such a massive extra damage boost. There's a huge combo onto the Malfurion. He's dead. Even though he didn't get stunned, Orphea does a ton of damage. Mei actually finishing it off. And Thrall doing nicely up here, forcing the Dahaka to tap the fountain for, it's got a 2-minute cooldown for some health and mana. And that's one of the reasons you take Thrall in the offlane is to just brawl your opponent. Like, your wave clear kind of sucks. But if you can kill your opponent, then, like, it doesn't matter how good how bad your wave clear is. However, check out Falstad up here. Well, that's 3 globals, by the way. We've got Falstad who can fly, Dahaka who can dig, and then Brightwing who can phase shift. So it's making it a little bit easier on the Thrall here against the double global. They are going to play safe though. Brightwing came back up here to try and help retake this point. Using the poly here. Trying to get away. Oh, very nice double root by the Thrall. He's doing a ton of damage, but Brightwing gonna take back that point. That's gonna mean some channel here for the red team. However, Mei taking a bunch of tower shots into that Mouth root. And so Mouth's gonna step on this, take it back. And Falstad's gonna step on this. Dahaka did burrow bot, so that makes this a 2v1 against the Falstad. So that means ReGen DeGens is gonna take back their point. As you can see on these bars on the right side here, ReGen DeGens has 20%, Shakuras has 10%. And no matter what, when either team reaches 100%, they keep the percentage that the max percentage they capped for. And they just get whatever they get when the Zerg comes out, based on that percentage. Is it weird to me that Dahaka can dig through the map faster than Falstad can fly over it? I'd love to just see that happen underground. Just like this like slithering dino going at like light speed. Okay, so it's a 4v4 down bot here. And red team doing a ton of damage to the tank here. Dagny going to go down. Red team getting that kill on the tank. Oh my gosh, a big root and orb onto the Orphea. She does get cleansed, so she doesn't fall asleep after. There's a nice tong onto the Brighton, who's getting very, very, very chunked by the Falstad. Has 200 health, is going to be able to walk away though. They do get the Malfurion though, somehow, with the Orphea damage. Dahaka trying to run away from that Junkrat trap that's chasing him. Gonna pop all that essence and get a pretty big health bar back, but gets stunned. Still alive. So, red team capped the objective for full. 100%. They have this massive wave, and if you want to compare that to the 18% that's up here, is very baby. Looks like Boomer's Mountain Dew is not helping them play. So this is going to get a lot. I suspect this will get the whole fort based on how Protectors defend it, but it might be that the objective is so strong that they can't clear it. The back ones are doing some range, so it's a little harder to get up there. And they also hit you. So the more that you're in there, the more damage that you're taking. They're going to take that Johanna down once again. And the fort is dying slowly. I like actually how they move Junkrat up here. Junkrat's pretty safe, pretty good into Dahaka, and good wave clear. They sent Junkrat to do the wave clear, and they're going to pick up that fall stat as well. Now if you're in Li Ming, not going to be able to save this. And so that Zerg is still alive. Not by much though. That's a full, almost a full level lead for ReGen DeGens. Really good boobs from the junk, yes. Especially, you know, once you realize that Johanna doesn't have her unstoppable button anymore, you can really take advantage of her. So, this Bruiser camp getting picked up by ReGen DeGens, and the Siege camp getting picked up by Protectors of Shakuras. Once again, this is match point for Protectors, so if somehow they kind of flip the momentum here and win the game, they would have won the whole series. So I think ReGen DeGens is fighting pretty hard here to make sure that they don't just get wiped from the series. These top 4 teams in the playoffs are pretty competitive, so I expect no less than 5 games. Nice boob from the Junkrat. Oh, there's a root onto the Mei. She is sleeping. Johanna pulls her in with the Condemn. Mei's not too scared though. Brawl is brawling this Dahaka. Dahaka's pretty chunked. They are going to pop the essence though and get the really, really good tongue, and the minions are actually doing a ton of damage to the Thrall. Dahaka turning the momentum in that little brawl. Mei is generally a defensive tank. They're having a hard time pushing into this. Joe is really looking for that Brightwing though. She once again gets away with 200 health. That's quite a few hammering stacks for the Falstad. Apologies for the lag. So, Thrall just walked up here. They have level 10s. They have these ults. This is a massive advantage here. So, Riptire, Avalanche, Crushing Jaws, Sundering, and Blink Heal. It's a 4v5 up here. Dahaka's still down here. Red wants to force something while they have that advantage, but blue team getting 10s and Thrall walking away. We do see it's Tranquility, Isolation, Disintegrate, Blessed Shield, and Gust. Joe is looking. Mei is very, very chunked. There's a big Blessed. An attempted follow-up by the Falstad. Looks like they might get it. The Crushing Jaw is not actually going to land. The Riptire peeling the Dahaka off the Chromie. The Isolation does land. Oh no, they're both dead now. I call that one the Brightwing effect. When you blink in to try and help, and then you also die. It works really well with the Brightwing butterfly skin. Anyways, that's a couple of picks, a couple more picks for Protectors, and they just start ripping boss. They said, sure, the objective is nice, but we'll get it when you guys are defending the boss. So it's extra pressure. Oh my gosh, Mei has Avalanche, but Joe has Iron Skin, and there's a Junkrat boop. And they're not going to be able to jump on it, but they did use a couple of tools there. Random Engineer wants to stall this cap, and they are going to be able to once it's a 2v1. Junkrat and Orphea working on destroying this boss so it doesn't take too much from their structures. And while this is happening, this is a forced defense, basically. So they're counter pushing up here, knowing that they have to deal with boss down there. But Brightwing getting the Z up after the Sundering, and they are able to kill that Malfurion. It's the 1v1, Orphea versus Johanna. She's alive. Not Junkrat's here. And Mei and Thrall are rotating extremely aggressively. The tongue misses on that Mei. Johanna's still super low here. There's a blessed onto the Thrall, and he does go down. The Root Tire is kind of looking. Hits the Li Ming. Oh my god, does more than half her health. And so red team has the objective. Johanna's stepping on it. Taco wants to buy more time on the objective. Brightwing's going to get that phase shift in and save them. However, blue team did get this cab, and they did get a pick, so they are going to cap the objective back. Red team has it at 78% right now. They're pushing this lane up here. Red team's got a lot of people down here to defend that point. In fact, they have 4 members, almost 5. Thrall's making their way. And this fort's just going to go down. There's so much pressure on the map from protectors. They're able to take these structures. Red team says, we want to be cohesive. We want to be not outnumbered. The blizzard does not connect. They're gonna get away. That's insane. Level 13s are online for protectors. Li Ming did get avalanched away. And Mei is actually very low on mana, so... Oh, the tongue not quite connecting, but it was quite close. So ReGen, DeGens still not having their level 13s right now. Thrall's walking top real fast as they can to try and stop the timer. It's at 96. They stopped it, but let's see who wins here. There's a really nice tongue, but there's a phase shift, so Dahaka's gonna walk away. The phase shift actually gets cancelled here. Oh my gosh, the Blessed trying to finish her off. And the Riptire for the defense too. And now they're brawling again top, and they do get the phase shift off this time. Okay, finishing off that tower for the next time they dive. Now it's a 3v4 down here. Brightwing's gotta walk down. Make sure that this structure doesn't go down for free. Shakuras doing a really good job of poking the structures down. Oh, insane read by the Malfurion. That was for sure going to be a really nice engage by the Mei. This is a big minion wave, though. Some more brawling up here. Falstad getting that fly off. Will we see the Brightwing Z? Not yet. No. They had burst down that Thrall very, very quickly. It was more than 2 people. At this point, you have to wonder, is it worth fighting over this? When you're down 1. They've invaded the siege camp. They've taken it despite it not being on their side. Oh my gosh. Is this illegal? 4v5 that they try and take this? Okay, so there's a gust on the camp itself. And they will be able to steal this camp. There is a Riptire though. Oh, and it dies to the Falstad hammering. So wave's pretty massive up here. Thrall thinking about going there, but knowing they're not going to have enough time. Both Zerg waves are really strong, 80 to 100%, and they alternate which lane they go down. So now blue Zerg wave, blue team protectors is coming down here. You see all these little banelings? I love them. They hurt. Thrall clearing out the catapult and the siege camp top. It was taking quite a bit of the wall here. So this wall is going down very, very quickly. Mei looking for an engage. Not quite getting the Li Ming. Settling for the Haka, which is a really nice polymorph actually with the boop. That Haka is dead. Very nice layering of CC by ReGen DeGens. Mei almost falling there. In a really tough spot, but able to make it out. Maybe trying to long range the Orphea there. While Orphea is trying to clear. Paul says wave clear is not the best, so it did take them a little while to finish off that 80% Zerg wave. So in the opposing lanes here, the structure damage is relatively even. Structure is a little healthier on the side of Protectors. And Protectors are going to get their level 16s now, which is a major advantage for them when trying to teamfight. However, Red Team has this earlier position onto a camp with the Junkrat boop already placed on it. So there's a tongue onto Thrall. Burst follow-up from the Falstad, but he's still pretty healthy. The ISO doesn't connect onto the Mei. There's a boop onto the Malfurion, a phase shift onto the Mei. Johanna is really in there, and the Riptire does some major damage to Johanna. The Sundering is good too. The Crushing Jaws lands onto the Malfurion, but there's no damage afterwards. And that Shield Glare is going to finish off that Johanna. Oh my gosh, that boop dodge on the orb was so good. So that is going to be the tank going down for ReGen DeGens. The boss is up. So blue team is going to start it. How much does red team, like, how much can they do about this? They're down a hero. They want to annoy them though. They want to make them take a bunch of damage from it. They don't have Sundering. They don't have their tank. They don't have any ults, really. But they're so incredibly low. Look at them. So that is big, big, big map pressure for Protectors. Luckily for ReGen DeGens, there's no objective phase happening right now. There's no point to cap, so they can just spend their time playing safe and clearing.
Here we go again. The beacons are powering up.
As I said that, the objective phase came up, and his boss is still all of its health. So there's that. The ReGen DeGens does have their level 16 talent tier now. So that will help them in these fights. Ooh, very nice combo into the Malfurion. He cleanses himself, so he's not slowed anymore. Joe getting really, really pushed into this backline. Gonna walk away and press Laws of Hope. Okay, the boss still very, very healthy. The beacons are up, available to be channeled. It's a nice root on the Johanna. She pops the Iron Skin for the Unstoppable. There is time for ReGen DeGens to clear this boss and take an even fight. The boss is almost dead, but the keep is quite low. And Dahaka, we'll see if Dahaka has Burrow in case either team wants to fight. So they're going to keep laning until there's a decisive answer as to when a fight is happening. So Dahaka is burrowing back here in the backline, but not before Malfurion dies. And Orphea is looking at that Li Ming alongside Thrall. There's a tongue onto the Orphea. Thrall is still looking though. Gets a really nice root. And Thrall's going to take down that Li Ming. Oh my gosh. Protectors of Shakuras get the whole objective though during all that fighting. Red team going to have to clear, like, their life depends on it. Sometimes the strategy here is to tank the damage with your hero instead of letting it hit your structures, which can be quite risky. Blue team doing the counter pressure thing again. This is 2v3 down here. There's a ton under the Orphea. Sundering a Blessed. Orphea's gone. Very nice tongue. CC layering. Though Thrall was able to chase them away from finishing off this keep. Freya's death timer is about 36 seconds now. Oh, he's still looking? Oh my gosh, Falstad's still backing. Oh, he gets the root. Oh my gosh! Thrall wasn't watching turn-in, could have decapped while chasing Ming, but got tunnel vision. I totally understand. Like, walking away from a kill that's yours. Especially when you're landing these roots. Okay. So, even talent tiers. Orphea is dead for 4 more seconds. Joe is back in 30. There's some minions here, but Orphea just respawned. Doesn't matter. The minions will get it. Oh, they both stepped into the root. And they're both sleeping. They're taking a nap. Orphea doing some homework. And Joe will be back in about 5 seconds. That's still enough time for red team to claim this siege camp. Oh my gosh, these waves. Orpheus said, I want to fight. Peru the waves. This is a pre-20 fight. It's kind of what ReGen DeGens needs, because once Protectors gets that level 20, they can just kind of walk over them with that advantage. Oh my gosh, the tongue! But the Sundering! Is the Mei gonna survive? Popping the Unstoppable. The ISO doesn't connect. It was quite close. It was really... Like, I really respect trying to force a fight there before Protectors gets 20. But I mean, look at all the Protectors ults that got used. Only Sundering really was used on the side of ReGen DeGens, so they're kind of still in an okay spot for a pre-20 fight. And I wonder if Protectors is gonna give it to them. They are... No, it looks like they're gonna get 20 for sure here. So that means ReGen DeGen's gonna walk away. They don't want that pre-20 fight.
From the beacons, they'll be active soon.
They're not far though. They will have a fight in time to contest full cap of the objective, full channel of the beacons. But Protectors is getting boss already, and they just noticed. Oh man, that's crazy macro. Oh my gosh. The Blessed Shield into the Li Ming damage. The Wind Tunnel's disgusting. The ISO, the Crushing Jaws. Thrall is super displaced, can't even see. Presses Sundering, hits a few people. And this boss is going core. It's still holdable. From me starting the burn, I believe this keep is super dead. They're burning it really quickly with spread volley from Junkrat, but they're not going to be able to save their keep. Beacon is getting channeled by Protectors. And they're honestly playing... They're looking at an end here. Potentially. Maybe some more picks. Okay, red team letting the full channel go through. Brawl is still dead. This Zerg, 100% Zerg wave is going bot.
Maybe there's hope yet.
That's where we will see most of the action. ReGen gonna have to clear as much as they can. There's a root onto the Mei, a tongue onto the Mei, there's a Sundering, a phase shift. The phase shift is just a hair too late. They did so much burst damage to the Li Ming. She's gone for a full minute. They have to defend 4v5 against the Zerg wave and the enemy team. Oh my gosh, another tongue! One onto the Thrall who has to blink out. The Riptire. And they've got Riptire reset so they can use it again if they hit 3 people. Oh my gosh, the Riptires. He has it again. He got 3 more people. These Riptires are insane, but it's really not enough. And that's going to be a 3-0 going to Protectors of Shakuras. What a set. 3-0. I mean, these teams were super close in the standings in the division, so... And both of these games felt really... I mean, all 3 of these games felt really close. Very, very even healing by both of these healers. So the whole series is going to Protectors of Shakuras. They will be in the top 2. They will play in the finals of Division D. Yeah, really nice set of games. We'll see if they want an interview. Looks like they do want an interview, so I'll speak with them shortly.
Hello, hello.
Hi. How many are coming?
Just two, I
Okay.
think.
Awesome.
Hello.
Nice. Nice 3-0 in the semifinals.
Thank you.
Very,
Thank you.
very nice. How close do these games feel?
Probably closer than they looked. I don't know. I was scared.
Yeah, I felt like they were close, but there's like definitely super pivotal moments where it's like, dang, that could be a snowball, or
hmm
Yeah, I felt like game 3 was probably the closest.
yeah, I was kind of expecting to see more games, just based on how close it was.
They've been close all season.
Yeah.
Yeah, ReGen DeGens has been a thorn in our side all year.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' standings in Div D super duper close, so
hmm
good games to watch. And I love all the maps that were picked. These are great maps.
Yes. Unfortunately, we both play our better maps. Like, they don't really play Tomb. We don't really play Volskaya, but we can. And it's just that, it happens that we banned Volskaya and they didn't ban Tomb. So, I don't
Oh,
know.
I
We'll take
see.
it, I guess.
Okay. Well, I like to go backwards, so because it's
Okay.
freshest. Is Braxis a map that you guys play kind of often? I feel like a lot of teams ignore this map and they just ban it because they don't like playing on it.
Yeah. The only team that beats us on this map is ReGen DeGens.
Oh, I see.
It's really messed up. I was watching our Braxis games today. Like, how did they win? What's going on? Um, and I don't know what we did different. I think we just locked in. I guess like we just started playing better and really finally took a Braxis off of them.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
last one was super frustrating because we had it ahead the whole game the last time we played on Braxis against them, and like we just fumbled it. So coming back to Braxis on their call was it was good to feel. It felt good to win against them there.
Nice. That
Yes.
must have been cathartic. I mean, you guys got some like insane staggers like so often, I stopped counting.
Yeah. Sometimes they just walk at us, and sometimes we just walk at them.
Uh-huh.
Really, I don't know. I feel like it's I don't want to say stamina, but like
I
I can
see.
only focus for so long,
Yeah.
like I really didn't want to play anymore.
Definitely like attrition, just
hmm
like not playing at your like peak. I mean, it's been like, a couple hours already and you played the quarterfinals. This is semis, this is the best of five. Yeah, I totally get it. But I mean, you guys have some really great synergy following up on and layering CC, so that was exciting to watch. I feel
Well, thank
like
you.
that was something that put you kind of ahead a lot of the time was when you guys decided you wanted to pick, you really worked together for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just doing reps. That's all that was.
Nice.
and also getting Chopper into the fold mid-season.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chopper's been a
He
huge boon for us.
So
yeah
like a new
he
player.
has melded. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. Cool. Yeah, I feel like because there are so many assassins, like you kind of have to get to know your assassin players and like just like the few heroes that they play because you can't just like pick an assassin and be like, "Oh, hey, can you just play this one this game?" Like because it works with our comp.
Yeah. The fun part is Chopper plays all the really annoying ones. Like
Like
if
Tracer?
we're like not Tracer, almost all the really annoying
Hmm.
ones. We're like, hey, he tries out and he's like, yeah, I play Genji, and I'm like, you play, yeah, well, you're coming to a Braxis team, buddy. You better play Genji.
They didn't play Genji this game though.
I know. I got in, like, we got into the map, and I went, oh no, we forgot.
Yeah. That would have been a much better Zerg clear, but I mean, you guys hardly had to clear the Zerg after the first one.
hmm
But I mean, you also
Yeah,
had False Dead, so you didn't really need to like rotate like crazy. I mean, you had double globals.
Yeah, despite the small map, being able to just swap whoever's in whatever lane is nice. I know Orem only came down once or twice, but
Mhm.
I think we sent Cliff up quite often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only like 3 times.
3 times? I don't know. 5 times swapping back and forth, that's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, even forcing Brightwing to leave just to defend top it's a pretty good strategy. It helps your
Yeah.
push bot. Yeah, it was a pretty clean game for the most part, and I liked the decisive boss calls. Like by the time that red team figured out that's what you were doing, they were like, "Oh no, it's too late."
Yeah, it's already over. There's a pile of leaves on the ground and a Johanna in their face. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy, it's done.
Okay, going backwards, game 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen.
hmm
Oh man. I feel like you guys did you lose any structure minus top fort?
Top keep wall?
Top keep wall? Okay.
I think
Mid wall.
mid wall. We almost lost mid fort.
Yeah. But there were some like really like interesting exchanges in the first part of the game. Both teams trying to like defend the turn and with just like outnumbered and then just suffering the consequences for it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there were there were a couple times where at least I was trolling where I'm just like, yeah, I'll hold this, no problem. And I just die. I'm like, sorry guys, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done that so many times.
Yeah.
It just really makes you like be like, oh yeah, I should respect that. I love that map. Let's see. Did you guys play map? You played Oriole on that map, right?
Yep.
You guys were trading the Oriole. I'm surprised it wasn't here in the last game. Was it banned?
No. No, I think I didn't want Oriole. Oh, because I wouldn't be able to really hit them. Like, I could get blinded by May,
I see.
but until Orphea would just be in, and I wouldn't be able to do
Right.
much.
Okay. Could totally see that. Would have been a good healer with Orphea. They first picked the
Right.
Brightwing though, for that global. I could see why.
Yeah.
People like to take the globals here. And
And
that
also the
first
game
oh,
before
sorry.
we had banned a lot of healers. So
Yeah, so
made
many
Yeah.
healer
pressured.
bans.
Yeah, Vel and I test each other every time we play. And, I really gotta reach down deep into the bag and be like, maybe I won't feed on this one. And game 2 and 3 looked kind of sketchy.
All right, game 1, Infernal Shrines. That's also a classic NGS map. I'm trying to remember what you guys played.
Let's see.
You had
Rhaegar,
some
Hanzo, Chromie, Blaze, Joe.
yeah, you guys were getting like some crazy CC layering, and then just like it's free game for Chromie.
Yeah.
Diablo was sad that game.
Yeah, there was one in mid keep. He got looped. I don't know, threw a bunch of stuff into him. He got crystalled, and he was, I don't know,
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah, it was near the end of the game.
Trying to walk away. We blew him up anyways. We kind of felt bad. We felt bad for Taco on that one, but
Yeah, it was sad to
that's life.
watch.
Yeah. He probably had souls. He was fine.
Yeah, I think they did, yeah. But still, it's cool. Like that was the first map too. So to me, that was like a really good look at your strengths as a team, and how it showed up in the game. It's just very in sync.
Yes. We try to be as best we can. We just know Dagny's always going in.
Yeah, it's always good to look at your tank, even if you don't agree with what's going on, because just being cohesive as a team is what coordinated is about. So, very nice. I mean, you guys have been a team for a while, I think, right? A few seasons?
A couple seasons, yeah. This core has been, I think, 2 seasons now. There was some turbulence at the beginning trying to figure things out, but we've
That's every
kind of
team.
we've kind of evened out, and I think we're gonna try and ride this wave for a little while.
Very nice, very nice. Well, you guys are doing really well. Yeah, and congratulations. Excited to see the finals.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Are
can't
you
wait.
gonna go watch your potential opponents
Uh,
now?
yeah, we have to. I mean, there's
You got to
still
scout.
that you got to scout, but that's quarters that's being played right now on the other
Oh, that's
side, so they still have to play
quarters.
semis. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was confused. Well, if you have any shoutouts you'd like to make, please do so.
Cliff.
I'll let you handle it.
Okay. Um, sounds
I'll
good.
get anybody that you forget.
Okay. I'm gonna go with everybody. That way Cliff doesn't get anything.
Dang.
I know. No. Thank you for casting. We really appreciate it. Thanks NGS for putting us on the big screen. Hi, Mom. We appreciate all of you guys watching. We always enjoy playing, so thank you to the other team for showing up and showing out. And these games were kind of puckers, so you know they're clenchers, man. Like they were close. It was not an easy 3-0. We deeply appreciate all of you coming out, and couldn't do it without you guys.
And I'll just throw in all the NGS staff.
There we go.
Hey.
Well, thanks for interviewing with me, and good luck in the rest of your games this season.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, of course. Have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Well, that will be it for my stream today. Thanks all for joining us in the semis here for Div D. There is a Div D quarterfinals going on right now at let me just say the link out loud and you'll totally get there. That's Twitch TV / Eternally Blue TV. Hopefully I remember that. But there's also a series going on by Ace, I believe, on Nexus Gaming Series 2. So either we raid or you just type those in. Oh, we're raiding Nexus Gaming Series 2. So no work to be done by you. You just sit there and you get to see more HOTS. Thanks again, and see you next time.